All right, I wanted to make a little 2-year update for my spinal fusion. If you've watched videos on this channel before, or if this is the first one you're watching, in February of 2021 now, February early in the month, I did a L5-S1 spinal fusion. The reason I did the spinal fusion was because I had a bilateral pars defect, which was causing intense sciatic pain down my right leg. Never hurt my left leg at all, never felt the electric shock on my left leg, but certainly my right leg was deeply affected. So, got an MRI. You can watch some of my older videos to hear the whole story, but essentially found out there was bilateral pars defects in the bottom of my spine. My understanding of pars defects, I'm not a doctor or a neurosurgeon or orthopedic surgeon, is that there's these processes on your spine. Both of mine were fractured, so they call it bilateral pars defect. So what happened? Well, I went and did spinal fusion. I made a lot of videos leading up to it. I made a lot of videos on my recovery. Once I got back to work, the videos slowed down. Life kind of started turning back to normal. Once I hit the 1-year mark, that was truly where I realized that I felt better. So why did I kind of stop making videos after the 1-year mark? Well, the reason is, I have it written down here, I didn't have enough to talk about on a daily basis. I didn't really feel like I was contributing to the conversation of spinal fusion recovery, because after a year, I really just started to feel better. You know, things that bothered me, I started to forget about. Things that affected me, I really started not to notice anymore. And with work and school, and I had a child, a new child, things just got a little bit busy. So what happened after that? Well, people started to ask me at about the 1-year mark, people in my personal life, hey, how's your back? I know you had this surgery. And I would always say, haven't even thought about it until you just mentioned it. So that was kind of interesting to know that I wasn't even thinking about my back until people would ask me. So what happened after all of that? Well, in March of 2022, about a year ago almost, I started to notice that there were some severe issues with irritation and being upset a lot. It sounds like that's everybody, but I was like, this is a little weird. I haven't always felt like this. So went to go get a blood test, found out that I have a ton of calcium in my blood. So what was happening was the calcium that I was intaking from food and vitamins and whatever was going to my bloodstream versus my bones. Started to make a little bit of sense. They said you might have something called primary hyperparathyroidism. I said, okay, I have no thyroid issues in my family. That's strange. Went to go see a surgeon for a consultation, did some imaging. Yep, adenoma on one of my parathyroids. I started to learn a lot, started to Google a lot about this condition. Started seeing the word cancer. Ended up going in for a ultrasound, and the surgeon ended up telling me that, yep, you have not only thyroid cancer, you have nodules on your thyroid, but you also have your lymph nodes are carcinogenic as well. So, bad news. So what happened next? Well, essentially, after hearing that news, went and got surgery. Had a total thyroidectomy, had my thyroid taken out, I don't know if you can see in the video here, but had a neck dissection where my neck was opened up and lymph nodes were taken out. I was all good. Started to make sense why I had pars defect. My surgeon told me that most likely the reason I had pars defect was because of the weak bones in my body. I ended up doing a DEXA scan that confirmed that, yep, I had some weak bones, some bone loss, but that's why I had the pars defect. Now, most people have trauma or some sort of fall or some sort of issue that causes that. Me, I never had that. I never fell. I never played sports at a high level like that. So it was a little strange that I had to go through all that. But now my spinal fusion made a little bit more sense. Now, back to the recovery of the spinal fusion, I feel a lot better. At this point in my life, I feel great. I'm walking around. I'm with my daughter here. She's at the playground. I'm enjoying life, right? I'm back. The sciatic pain, I have never felt it since then. I feel great. Things are a lot better. So, hi, honey. I'm able to see my daughter, play with her, and things are great. There are a couple things that have stuck around, though. So if I lay on a bed or a firm mattress, which I ended up buying because of the back pain, I get real stiff in my lower back. If I'm laying on the couch, whether it's on my side or on my back, I get really stiff. That usually happens towards the end of the day. However, most of the time I can kind of alleviate that with taking an Aleve or ibuprofen to maybe reduce some of the inflammation in my back. Past that, I never think about my back. I do a standing desk now. I sit down all day. I stand up all day. I'm good. So, am I everybody? No. I had a pretty good surgeon. He was well reviewed here in Orange County, California. So, as most people say, it does have a lot to do with your surgeon, but I also believe it has a lot to do with your recovery. And, you know, I really took it easy for 3-4 months. I did a daily walk. Didn't do 10 miles. I'd maybe do a mile every day walking, maybe 2 miles. Feel a lot better. So that's kind of my story. I won't drag on too much more, but after 2 years of this, I am lucky to be here. I'm happy to be here, and I feel very privileged to be here. So thanks for watching. If you guys have questions, I'd love to have a conversation in the comments. These videos have been so great for me. Watching videos of other people as they go through this process was really helpful as well. So let me know how I can help. Thanks, guys. Have a great one.